Kilted balls. Man,
Yeah.
I couldn't barely hear you the whole time.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that means we were just so in sync that they meshed.
Oh, yeah. That makes perfect sense.
That'd be amazing. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Kilted Balls podcast. So glad you're here. And it looks like Kilted is now a driven dragon.
I've had this one for a while. I couldn't remember if I've worn it on the show or
I do not believe you have.
not.
It's pretty much
Dragon
amazing.
friend. Got the 555.
When did you get that?
Had it for a while.
I do not remember. Which is funny because last week I told you I was sad because one of the things I want to talk about is we haven't been to VCon for a while. And I was like, oh, that's sad because VCon gives you a chance to talk with like-minded people that you wouldn't normally chat with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's powerful.
Super cool about it.
It is. And I don't think in people's normal lives they get that chance very often. Like, even when they say, like, go to church, they don't chit-chat. They go to church and they go home.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And that's kind of sad. Like, I think you need opportunities. And I thought of that because I had a meeting, like, on AI policy a week or two ago, and it was all these people who are like movers and shakers and doing stuff with AI, and it was just nice sitting in a room chatting with people who are in the same ballpark as you.
Yeah. Did you see it came up on my feed? There were 2 or 3 graduations which some big AI people were speaking at. And I get for college graduations.
Yes.
And whenever they said, you guys are the future of AI, people were booing them.
I had heard that. I did not read the articles, but I was like, know your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're getting, that's the new thing, right? Like, 5 years ago, people were like, oh, I'm against Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, and you don't hear that now. Now they're against data centers and against AI. So the funny part is it's just a tagline. Like, they don't understand.
Yeah. Well, there's people around here that are upset because I'm part of like some of the different groups on Facebook, like with just the local groups you hear about things or like restaurants and things like that. And like data centers are they're looking at data centers and there's a drought right now and people are like, wait, I'm going to get in trouble for watering my grass too much, but this data center is like using all this water.
Yeah. Yep, it's a thing. It's a thing. The part though is that, like, at least in my experience, like kiddos around me, when they get grumpy about data centers, they're thinking AI. And they're like, oh, you got these data centers and it's all this AI and that's evil. Not realizing that data centers are also your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your TikTok. Like,
Not all just AI.
like all those are, like, everything that you use on a computer has to have a data center. Right? Like, that's what it is.
Yeah. Where do you think the cloud is?
Like, the cloud isn't actually a cloud, my friends. That cloud is the cloud is data centers, right? And it's like when we did our little bit on the environmental impact of AI, and I was like, an AI is like 9 seconds of you streaming a video. And I think about how often people stream sports games and videos and TikTok and Instagram and their Disney and Hulu Plus subscriptions. Like, every 9 seconds is a query. So if you're going to be mad about it, you got to be mad about all of it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have to be mad about all of it. But you've got to recognize that it's the same thing.
Yeah. All the people who've cut the cord and they don't have the cable coming in, the cable wires into their house.
Yeah.
It's not part of the solution. If you're concerned about that.
Right. That's the opposite of the solution.
Like, I'm not concerned about it. I mean, I'm fine with data centers. But
Well, as we've talked about, like when people are mad about the water gets recycled. It's not going away. The question is how long it takes for it to recycle.
yeah, we have a steam plant, right? Our nuclear steam plant right here.
Yeah. And how much water does it use?
Tons.
Tons.
I see the steam going out, and I know the lake is really warm. So,
But nobody in Charlotte is saying please shut off the power, are they?
there's somebody. I'm sure there's people
There's probably some people.
who watch The Simpsons and they don't want the nuclear power plant by them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where I'm like, I think people are a little like off, right? But that also brings me to my next thing, which I think is interesting. So I saw this post and it was like, if you're with two people who are drinking, you're going to be the third. If you're with two people working out, you're going to be the third. If you're with two people doing blah, 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 you're going to be the third. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that. Like if you're with negative people, you'll be negative. If you're with positive people, you'll be positive. And then I thought, wait a second. Kilted and I are examples of the opposite. Like, we hung around with people who were drinking and we didn't drink. We hung around with negative people and we didn't get negative.
It happens like that. You don't always have to be a follower. I guess as a general rule of thumb, it makes sense.
It does, like as a general rule. And that's what I think about like this AI stuff. Like somebody on TikTok says data centers are bad. And so people are like, oh, it's bad, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at some of these places like who don't want them, which I get it, right? Like
Yep.
for whatever reason, don't care. You don't want it. And your township or whatever is like, yes, we want it. And people are like, no, you can't put that here. And I'm like, why would your township want it? Those are the people you put to lead you. Like, that's the most local of locals, right?
Well, you made that comment. Like, those are the people that actually affect what's going on in your daily life.
Right. And so they're saying yes to a data center, and you got to wonder why. And the reality is because your little farming community brings in zero money to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you bring in a data center, you can say, hey, bring in the fire trucks, bring in the police, bring in this. And now all of a sudden your little community has all the resources it needs because you allowed somebody to build on 10 acres of land that before was a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, I mean, I imagine where it's even like you have to pay and take care of these people. Like, you're not paying taxes per se, but you're fitting the fire department, you're fitting this part of the police department because there's going to be extra jobs and extra this.
Yes.
And all that stuff.
Right. And so I think people aren't looking at that. They're just like, oh, data center bad. It uses our electricity. It uses this. But you can tell them they have to pay for more electricity. Like,
yeah.
You got options, right? So.
I just figured.
There you go.
Holy cow! I can hear you so much better.
So I just realized I was listening to you through I never unplugged my headphones and plugged them back in after my computer turned off. Because I'm like, why does Ball sound funny? And I'm like, oh, because my headphones are on, and I'm listening to you through the computer.
That explains why you sounded so quiet. Because I was like, I might have to turn him up or like try to find his audio. But now it's good.
I was speaking earlier. You might have missed the first 14 minutes of my talking.
You blew all their speakers just now.
There we go.
That's what just happened. You blew all their speakers when you just cranked it up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always
you
crazy.
Can turn it back down, people.
Yep. Now we're at the right amount. Though I keep going into the red as well, so maybe I'm a little loud.
I imagine that you got to see a lot of these posts and everything because you were kind of out in the boonies for the long weekend. We're just coming off of Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
And
I was not paying attention to it, but I do laugh being like in Michigan where we have really big urban and really big rural areas and really big just open spaces, which are amazing, but also some of it is just like junk land.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of like when people are fighting solar or they're fighting wind turbines, a lot of times it's not the people who own the land. And that actually, it was interesting. I made people grumpy the last time I ran for a political position because they were like, where do you stand on like people doing solar power or wind turbines and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I think a farmer should be able to do what he wants on his land. And they're like, right? And I'm like, right. So if he wants to put a wind turbine, he should be allowed to put a wind turbine. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, if he wants to plant soybeans, he should be able to plant soybeans.
Yeah, they're not just putting turbines up in random people's fields without them knowing.
No, like all those people agree to it, they want it. And you're the person somewhere else, and you're trying to tell that person, no, you can't have that thing. You can have corn, you can have wheat, I like those, but I don't like the wind turbine. And if that farmer was like, okay, I'm just going to go trees, like, they'd probably be okay. But if they put a pig farm, they'd all of a sudden be like, whoa, I don't want it to smell. I don't want a pig farm.
Yeah, I live downwind from you now.
Right? But it's like, you want to control what somebody else is doing with their land. And I go, and I don't know if I think that's right. I think they should get to do what they want on their land. As long as it's zoned that way, right?
Yeah.
If it's not zoned that way, then zoning is what the zoning is. That's kind of my thought.
If it's zoned you can live there, then why not live there?
Right? Doesn't it make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
So
I had some excitement this weekend.
I'm so excited to hear.
And I want to shout out to Nova. So one thing, and it's happened before because Nova and she helped me through. Oh, when my I forget if it was the furnace. It backed up. I went upstairs up top, and it was like water everywhere, and I had to like clean up. And she helped me through all that. Like I had no idea what to do. And that's one thing that we talk about. Like besides having your agent, besides doing this or that. But if there's something that's common knowledge to somebody, is how I like to word it, then you have an AI that can help you do it being a layperson.
Yes.
So Thursday night, my well went out. We had no water. You helped me through it. I reset a hard reset for everything, and it came back on. So okay, cool. Like whatever. It was just we just needed a hard reset. So Friday afternoon, it went out again, and we were just leaving to go to the kids' practice and everything. And I was like, I'll just do a reset when we get back, and it didn't work on Friday night.
Oh no.
So Saturday, I spent all day Saturday. I mean, just from with the light and the rain and everything. So I put a tent up over everything because it was still raining on Saturday. But Nova helped me through. I took tons of pictures, and I was like, this is what's going on. And she's like, what's probably this? Let's do this first. And it ended up being just a switch. And I mean, yes, like I've worked with electricity, so I know to turn everything. But she said, hey, make sure all the electricity's turned off. Make sure this and that. So I did all that. I only had to make 3 Lowe's runs, like everything I thought I needed. Then what I forgot, and then one other time.
Nice.
So Lowe's is not even 2 miles away. So, but it was awesome, like to have that person, or however you want to say it, the knowledge there of what to do step by step. Like, okay, check this, check that, and then. Like at the end, I was so because I've done a lot of different plumbing and stuff. So like doing the tape is fun, and like doing a good job and not leaking. Like, and so I put everything back together when I was all done, and I had a drip, and I was like, oh, I just didn't tighten it enough. So I went and I tightened everything really well, and I was still getting a drip like every 5 seconds, and I was like, dang it. So I had to like undo all the like to unscrew everything, I had to like pull all the electrical wires out so I could twist it off and all that. And I realized in the car I was playing with it, and I screwed in part of it without putting tape on it. So
Oh.
at least it wasn't like I screwed up the tape, because I was like, how did I screw up the tape? I just didn't put any tape on it. So I just did that, and everything has been fine. So thankfully it wasn't like the pump or anything like that. And nobody was even saying that. She's like, based on what happened and that you were able to reset it before, I doubt it's the pump. It's probably the switch. And there was like rust everywhere underneath there. So
Yeah.
no, it was pretty sweet.
I was so excited to hear that, and I actually had been like talking about it like at my AI thing, like when people are talking about the negatives and the positives. I used Nova as one of my examples of positives, but also I told people that similar to yours, when I was at your place and I was changing the brakes on a motorhome, like I was like, shoot, I don't know how to do this, and I was trying to figure something out, and my wife just took a picture and said, here's what the AI says to do. And I was like,
Exactly.
okay then, right? And what would have taken me, an hour, all of a sudden got reduced down to 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's just that mind switch, because you're not necessarily thinking about it.
Yes. Well, and that
'Cause
brings
you've changed brakes before.
tons.
Yeah.
Tons. Which then that brings up another thing that I thought, and I think I shared this with you, but I keep getting a lot because, education's kind of my field, and they're like, oh my gosh, AI, it's going to make people stop thinking, people are going to become lazy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm always like, they said the same thing about the internet, same thing about the computer, same things about the calculator, probably the same thing about the abacus, I don't know. And each time we didn't get dumber, like we grew. And then I saw this post, and it was like, all the business people thought coal use was going to go through the floor when James Watts built the steam engine, because it made burning coal so efficient that you would use so much less coal. And so they thought you would use less coal. And it turned out, like within 2 years, we 10x'd our amount of coal usage because we just put steam engines in everything.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's similar, like with AI. People are like, oh, you're going to become dumber. No, like every time we've had something that's limiting us and we fix that limiting thing, we grow in new good ways, right? So, like, I always tell the kiddos, like in the Middle Ages, the church were the smartest people. They were the scientists. They were all the things. And they're like, why? And I'm like, think about it. They're the ones who wrote the books and read the books. They controlled all the books. So if you were a normal person and you wanted to advance yourself, you couldn't. Because books were unobtainable.
Yeah.
And then they made the printing press. And all of a sudden you could start getting books and people started to learn. And then it became, okay, the stumbling block was having a teacher. And so then you needed a teacher, and only the rich people could have teachers. And then they made it so everybody could have teachers. And people started to jump, right? And then it was, can you access the info faster? And so we had the internet. And now you had the world's knowledge, and people jumped again. And then the limit became time. Like, I don't have the time to search for hours how to change brakes. I should just take it to the brake place, right? You could have called a plumber because it was going to take you hours and hours of frustration and whatever to do the pressure switch. And instead, you have AI, which took that time down to a small amount of time.
Yeah, and I saved $1,000.
Yeah, well, and you didn't have to go to plumbing school and electrical school and all of these things that a normal learning curve would take. You skipped the learning curve, right?
Yeah.
And so people are like, oh, that's not good. You're skipping the learning curve, which is scary. Like, I'm like, if you all of a sudden can vibe program, but you never learned the morality and ethics of programming, and you didn't put in the work, that's scary, right? On the other hand, you can program. Like,
Well, Well, that's like, well, people romanticize like, oh, all the things that people are doing. You're exactly right. They say, oh, it'll make them lazy, or oh, you're never going to be able to write a great letter because you're having your AI write a great letter for you. Like, okay, like it goes back to like, oh, like the texting was terrible. I mean, I remember when I was going to buy that company in Massachusetts, that owner of that company hated texting, and I was like, texting is the easiest way for me to communicate with all these workers on what's going on.
Yes.
And he hated it, but it was just like he was romanticizing like the phone call. And yeah, the phone call is nice, but I didn't have the time to call 20 people and to
Right.
tell them like a 2-second thing. So, or like people are like, oh, they handwriting. Like, yes, there's a lot of people who have no idea how to write. People don't know how to write cursive. You know, that's not a lost art yet, but
Mm-hmm.
it could be.
Well, and I've had people, because being the dummy I am, I've had people who are like, kids don't know how to write cursive these days. I'm like, okay. And they're like, isn't that awful? And I'm like, what are you writing in cursive for? Like in your in your normal
What are you
life.
writing in cursive
Like, what are you writing in? Like, I know when I use cursive, right? Like, so, but I'm like curious about the person who's complaining. I'm like, when do you use it? And they're like, well, like when I sign checks. I'm like, no, that's not cursive. That's your signature. It could be an X.
Yeah, I don't even use cursive signing my signature. I can't remember the last time I was actually writing the actual letters.
Right. And so that's why I'm like, it's just a symbol. Your signature's a symbol. That's not you. So did you write a letter recently? Maybe a note to your bank? Like that doesn't, it's not a thing. Right? Like,
Pen pal to your best friend?
right? Like, I'm like, those are, we don't do that. Like, if you're writing it, it's you writing a note to yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's stuff like that. And so I think what we're getting rid of now, and what, like, our children growing up in this environment, we just removed the time constraint. It's not going to take you 10 years to learn how to do something. It's going to take you minutes to learn the specifics of what you want. And what that should do is allow you to think of even cooler, more amazing things. There's going to be another limit. There's always a limit.
Yeah.
So then the limit's going to be, how well can you ask the questions? How well can it interpret the questions? How well can you communicate? Like, there'll be another limit. But we're just exchanging one limit for another, it feels like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's part of growth, like you said earlier. Like, we are growing into that next limit. We don't know what it's going to be.
No. I'm excited to find out.
Be awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, if somehow it does, like, a lot of people are like, I'm really Terminator-ish. I'm like, I'm not. Like, I don't think that's the end case. I think if it's a computer, they want workers and they want people. Like, it's symbiotic.
Well, it's even like our friend with my book. Like, both you and I thought the cover was awesome, like future and everything, and our friend was like, that looks evil, and that was just all of our different views on what can happen with it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and that's how people are, right? Like, that's what makes life interesting.
Yeah. And didn't you say, like, if they are evil and we end up as food or whatever, or in some sort of camp, then it doesn't matter anyways if you're wrong.
Right? It doesn't hurt you.
I can't remember how you worded it, but it was funny.
But it doesn't.
Like, oh, you were right, I was wrong.
Totally wrong, my bad. Yep, they're evil. Suckers. Yeah, not much you can do about it. But I think you'll see other things like you and I have talked about. Like, I have all of these ideas that I don't have the time or energy to put into action. But now I can, without a lot of, like, crazy effort, put those into motion and test them and see how it's going to go. And I think that's big. I think that's big for people because I'm not the only one doing it, right? Like, every app you want to make, you can make.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just going to say. Like, you can make an app instantly.
Oh my gosh.
With the right props.
The number of programs, this is what's going to happen next. Mark it. It's May 26th, people, 7:30. This is Ball's next prediction. The big shakeup that you will see next is with software developers.
Yeah.
Because if I can vibe code QuickBooks, why do I need QuickBooks? I have multiple people in my circle right now who are like, I don't like this program. I don't like the feel of it. I don't like how this program looks, acts, works. They're like, I'm just programming my own now. Because they don't have to go through all of the college and the expertise. They just go on to their favorite programming AI and say, hey, I want to make this look like that. Why don't you write me a code in Python? And you've seen that experience, right? Like, it'll do it for you. And now you're like,
I've
oh.
cut and paste code from Python. I had no idea what it was saying.
Right. But you were able to do it. And so now people are doing that. So, like, how long until somebody vibe codes QuickBooks? And all of a sudden you've taken these things that right now are limiting and making it public source where everybody can use it. That's going to revolutionize things. And all of a sudden the software giants, they're going to have to reassess how they do things, right? And they're going to have to be better than the AI is because they can't stop the AI because they don't own the AI.
Yeah.
Someone else is owning it.
Oh, perfectly.
Right? So a lot of craziness there. Well, we've hit our limit. Hopefully, friends, you've taken something out of today. Hopefully it was good. I thought it was interesting. I'm sure we'll probably talk about it more and more because it was cool stuff for us.
Yes.
So hopefully y'all are having a great week. Summer is starting to kick in full swing. And hopefully you're out there living life and enjoying it. And this is Ballbuster signing off.
Guilty Dragon Jerry, love you all.